The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. That's my button. Hi there, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 21st day of July 2025. We have two more streams left to do the month of August, and then a 30-day sprint to end the 1956 season. We are today at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. For the Tigers and the Red Sox, the Tigers are in first place by, I think, a half game at most over the New York Yankees. They were tied. However, the Yankees lost a Tuesday game to the Kansas City Athletics at home. If the Yankees are going to win this thing, they got to be beating Kansas City. They swept the White Sox, and then did some pretty good damage to Detroit on this homestand of the Yankees. So the Tigers move up the post road to Boston to play the Red Sox on a cool, rainy Wednesday night at Fenway Park. It'll be Tom Brewer going for Boston, and I believe it's Billy Heft going for the Tigers. Our stream tomorrow, we're trying to beat the heat again, is going to be a doubleheader between the Indians and the White Sox, and then I forgot who I have to start the month of September as we get into Labor Day weekend. So we'll have a doubleheader today, and we'll have probably, I think, a holiday doubleheader on Monday. Isn't that great? Or next Monday. But it is 30 days to go. Now, Milwaukee is now 11 and a half behind Brooklyn. I'm not sure that they can make enough of it to make that race interesting, because it will either be the Braves or the Dodgers. But there are 5 teams as we exit August within 5 games of first place, and 2 of them you're about to see. The Tigers and the Red Sox. The train is slowly catching up. With that, happy Monday. How are you? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, it is the Boston Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find Dave and Vinny today at Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So Tom Brewer gets the call for the Red Sox, who are in 5th place at 66 and 58. However, they only trail the Tigers at 71 and 54 by 4.5 games. And so for the Red Sox, this is game 125. There are 29 left after this. For the Tigers, this is game 126. There are 28 left for Detroit after this. Tom Brewer is 12 and 10. He starts the last month of the season, making his 27th of 32 starts with an earned run average of .275. Brewer is 25 years old. He throws a fastball at 86 and is a ground ball pitcher. And against the Tigers, he hasn't beaten them. Detroit is 3-0 against him with a 3.94 ERA in 4 starts. Overall, Brewer third in the American League and ERA. His 12 wins good enough for 13th. He last pitched 5 days ago. We're playing the games. This is a day game, by the way, of Wednesday, August 29th, 1956. 5 days ago, he beat the Indians 6-4. 8 innings, 149 pitches, 10 hits, 4 runs all earned. He walked 5 and struck out 6. So Tom has had a charmed season. He's won 3 straight. 213 innings, 165 hits, 76 runs, 65 earned, just 6 home runs. He has walked, however, 105 and struck out 112. How you doing, Aaron? How was your weekend? And now, which side are you on? Are you on the European side or are you on the Asian side of Turkey? Harvey Keene will lead off for the Tigers at short. Earl Torgerson at first will bat second. Charlie Maxwell is in left. He'll go third. Al Kaline cleans up in right field. Ray Boone at third will bat fifth. Bill Tuttle in center goes sixth. Frank Bowling in second will bat seventh. Frank House hopefully hits a full house for him behind the plate batting eighth. And it will be the kid Billy Heft on the mound batting ninth. Brewer can give you 135 pitches. For the Red Sox defensively, Ted Williams, a 4 and a 4 in left. Jimmy Pearsall, a 9 and an 8 in center. Jackie Jensen is 7 and a 7 in right, and he really is the team's MVP this year. Billy Klaus, a 6 at third. Milt Bowling, a 3 and a 3 at short. Ted Lepsio is a 5 and an 8 in second. Mickey Vernon is on this team, and we never see him. Gernert is a 5. Dick Gernert is a 5 at first. Sammy White behind the plate, an 8 and a 7, and Brewer is a very good 8 on the mound with a 988 fielding percentage. Aaron is good. Harvey Keene is doing just dandy, hitting 338, 13 homers, and 70 RBI. First 4 games this week. We go into September. I'm doing well, Barbara. Barbara will watch or listen. So let's have 19 different side conversations so Barbara doesn't know what's going on. As we move along here, it is a day game. Fenway Park, 73 degrees. The skies are threatening here, and the wind is moving left to right at what would be toward the Big Old Prue, if it was there in 1956, at 10 miles an hour, which I believe is, never mind. I was going to do it the other way. Harvey Keene, we gave you his numbers. Brewer starts the effort, ground ball to Bowling, and he does make a play. He dropped it, he picked it up, he threw to first, 1 away. So almost 20 kilometers an hour from left to right. That's where I was trying to go with that. Earl Torgerson at 279, 13 homers, and 53 RBI. Aaron rooting for the Red Sox. Barbara rooting for the Red Sox. I think only John might be rooting for the Tigers. Although it's not unanimous in the poll. It should be. Pitch to Torgerson. Earl pops it up center field. Back goes Pearsall. Jibby's there. 2 out. For Charlie Maxwell. Charlie hitting 326 on the number. What he did in real life. 22 homers and 79 RBI. Al, Red Sox fan, how are you? Cleveland is going back to its old logo. I think there's a movement for it. Pitch to Maxwell. Right back to the mound. Brewer throws to Gernert, and that will retire the side. It gets the Tigers in order. Half an inning in the books. No score. A lefty, which is why we're not seeing Vernon. Billy Heft is 24. He throws a hard fastball at 89 and a standard pitcher. Making start number 27 on the year. Billy is 12 and 7. I think I just said that. With an earned run average of 427. Against the Red Sox, he's beaten them once. 309 ERA and 3 prior starts. Walking 12 and striking out 19. He's on 5 days rest. He lost to the Orioles on the 24th, 6-1. He went 7 innings, 102 pitches, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. He hasn't won a game since August 12th. He beat the White Sox. And his last shutout came against Washington on June 12th. Heft has thrown 206 in the third, 217 hits, 103 runs. Cleveland is going to remain guardians of the galaxy, I'm being told by Todd B. 98 of those 103 runs are earned. He's allowed 14 homers. He's walked 80 and struck out 164. Good for third. You know Herb Score has won that title. Here's the Red Sox lineup. Milt Bowling leads off at short. It'll be interesting is because I don't think the Red Sox were contending going into Labor Day how long they played their regulars for. Billy Klaus is batting second at third base. Ted Williams in left will go third. Dick Gernert cleans up at first. Jackie Jensen is in right field. He'll bat fifth. Jimmy Pearsall goes 6th to the center. Lepsio at second will bat 7th. Sammy White behind the plate batting 8th. And Brewer on the mound going 9th. Heft can throw a lot of pitches, 145. The defense for Detroit, Ray Boone, a 5 at third. Harvey Keene, a 6 and a 7 at short. Frank Bowling, an 8 and a 6 at second. Earl Torgerson, a 6 at first. The outfield, Charlie Maxwell is an 8 and a 6 in left. Bill Tuttle, an 8 and a 7 in center. Al Kaline, a 10 and a 9 in right. Frank House, a 6 and a 6 behind the plate. Heft is a 7 on the mound with a .971 fielding percentage. Bowling is at .232, 2 homers and 9 RBI. That is a high ground ball to Boone by the bag at third. Over to Torgerson. Bowling had on his dancing shoes, but he's thrown out. Here's Klaus. Billy at .259, 7 homers and 52 RBI. Heft deals. Struck him out. Klaus swung on and foul tipped in the Glover house. The 2-2 fastball, and there's 2 out for Ted Williams. Ted at .306. I mean, the last time we had him, he was hitting under 300. He's hit 19 home runs and driven in 67. So 4 magic numbers in Red Sox history, 1967. Heft deals, and Williams draws the walk. I don't know if Al's still here. This thought ran into my head in today's overly analytical era. Although he was not a power hitter, he drew so many walks and I believe owns chunks of that wall out there in left field. Dick Gernert, .255, 13 homers and 49 RBI. But Wade Boggs was not an RBI guy. So I pose the question, do you think that he would have actually made a good number 3 hitter with his ability to make contact and tattoo that wall? Gernert, there's a fly ball left field. Back goes Maxwell, and Charlie will make the catch, and that will take care of Boston. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 1, no score. So Kaline, Boone, and Tuttle to face Brewer, who cruised through the first on 7 pitches. Kaline at .298, 22 homers for the kid, and his 102 RBI is the closest to Mickey Mantle in Mickey's search for the Triple Crown. Although I think Mickey, it's going to be batting average. I think that will hold Mickey back. Brewer deals. Kaline hits a ground ball to Gernert. Dick will take it to the bag, 1 away. For Ray Boone, hitting .323, 25 homers and 87 RBI. There is another ground ball to Gernert, second verse, same as the first. 2 quick out. So Brewer just on top of his game to start the ball game. Bill Tuttle at .253, 12 homers and 65 RBI. Most North American logos, Aaron, are of mascots. You're seeing 2 today with the Tigers, and that whatever that is for a Red Sox. I didn't realize that there was that red hat on the top of that Red Sox. It really wasn't until we got to the era of television that they got super creative. Some of these are just kind of scary. Bill Tuttle draws the walk, a 2-out walk, first base runner for the Tigers. Brings up Bowling. Frank at .255. Are Frank and Milt brothers? 8 home runs and 38 RBI. How you doing, Andy? We just, by the way, had our 31st straight wet weekend here in Burlington. So the next time you meet a stranger from the internet by a parking garage, apparently you need to bring an umbrella. Pitch to Bowling. There is a slapper down to third. Klaus can't make a play. One too many bounces, and Klaus went to put down the glove, and it got past him. So an error for Boston. Here's House. Frank at 247, 6 homers and 32 RBI. So Tuttle on second, Bowling on first. And that got away from White. So Brewer, after breezing through the first 5 batters, throws a wild pitch. And Detroit is 2 in scoring position with 1 out and a 3-1 count. Oh, boo, Aaron, boo. Boo. So House counting his favor. Pitch to Brewer. Fly ball, right center field. Pearsall running back. And Jimmy in the triangle makes the catch. The walk, the error, and the wild pitch don't hurt. Tigers leave on 2. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. So Jensen, Pearsall, and Lepsio to face Heftier in the second. Jackie, in my opinion, has been the Red Sox MVP, hitting .299, 22 homers, and 91 RBI. High ground ball to short. Keane, snap throw to Torgerson, 1 away. For Jimmy Pearsall, hitting .266, 14 homers, and 60 RBI. They play for the bunt. Pearsall swings right center. K-Line will cut it off, but Jimmy's got himself a single, and that's the first base hit for anybody this afternoon. For Ted Lepsio at .269, 8 homers and 24 RBI. First versus fifth, but 4.5 games separate the Tigers and the Red Sox. I haven't seen Skubal pitch, Todd. Seems to be a remarkable case. Has he already gone through his Tommy John phase yet? How you doing, Sean? Pitch to Ted. Struck him out. Hef got him on a curveball swinging. So 2 out for Sammy White at .249. 4 homers and 54 RBI. No score. Bottom of the second. Tigers and Red Sox at Fenway. White to third. Boone has it. Long throw across, and Sammy is retired. Red Sox now have left on 2. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the third here at Fenway. No score. So Heft, Keane, and Torgerson to face Brewer here in the third. Billy at .246 and 3 RBI. Brewer. It may rain in this one. To short. Bowling to Gernert. 1 out. For Harvey Keane, who's 0 for 1. Opening 9 for Brewer. 34 pitches. 2 in the third. And a walk. That's a base hit. Left center field. Williams cuts it off. Throws it back in. And that's the first hit for the Tigers. Keane has decent speed on first. Torgerson's 0 for 1. Sean's doing well considering you watched 30. You went 30 hours without sleeping? Well, hopefully you got a good night's sleep if you went to bed at 2. What time did you get up this afternoon or this morning? Pitch to Torgerson. There's a ground ball to third. Klaus, Lepsio for 1, Gernert for 2. So a 5-4-3 double play. They go around the horn, and after 2.5, I'm doing well, thanks. It's the Tigers nothing and the Red Sox nothing. So Brewer, Bowling, again, Frank and Milt brothers, and Billy Klaus, and if anybody should reach some guy by the name of Williams. Brewer at .213 and 5 RBI. Heft's pitch. There's a ground ball to Boone, and Ray can't make the play. That's his 13th there, and Bill Buckner will applaud that. So both teams have an error, and Brewer on first. Now here's Milt. He's 0 for 1. Heft's opening 9, 37 pitches, 2+ innings, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 2025 offense I saw today, and we know that, I don't know if Sean watches modern baseball, but Barbara being a huge Mets fan and Todd being a guardian of the galaxy, that no team this year in Major League Baseball is hitting above 260. 20 years ago, 24 teams hit above 260. Pitch to Bowling. There's a fly ball to right. Kaline doesn't have to move too much. He'll make the catch, and Brewer goes back to first. One out for Klaus. Billy struck out his first time up. There is a ground ball to Milt, and that's a double play. So 4-6-3 go the Red Sox here in the third. And so that was a tailor-made double play. After 3, no score. Going to make that mid-game break last forever. So we Maxwell, Kaline, and Boone to face Brewer here in the fourth. Charlie is 0 for 1. Greg, how are you? Caught traffic. The other night they had 4 batters in the lineup with an under 200. Been doing that 2012 Nats season, and you run into some bad teams. By the way, Sean, we did pass the 5-loss mark. The 2012 Nats survived San Diego, went into Los Angeles, and dropped 2 of 3. They're now at home against the Phillies, and they just coughed up an absolute hairball. They lost, I think, 3-1. Detweiler was the starter, didn't give up an earned run. Yeah. Mr. Harper and I are going to have a meeting because Bryce just had a bad day. We're all entitled to him. Pitch to Charlie Maxwell from Brewer. Left field, Williams goes back, makes the catch. 1 out for Kaline, who's 0 for 1. Yeah, they weren't going to go. They really hadn't played much. They still, the first against the Phillies. They haven't played the Braves yet. The Dodgers, I think, were a playoff team. But yeah, the law of averages, for sure. Kaline's 0 for 1, 35 and 5 on another sim. I think it's just incredible that the Tigers did that. The 82 Braves, of course, started 13-0, and so did the 87 Brewers. But I don't think by the quarter pole they had only lost 5 games. According to Baseball Reference, Frank and Milt are brothers. Okay, I figured that is such an uncommon name. Pitch to Kaline, struck him out. First for Brewer, 2 out. Got him looking at a 2-2. Here's Ray Boone, who's 0 for 1. High ground ball to third. Klaus over to first, and Ray is retired. After 3.5, both teams have been held to 1 hit. They've had some pitchers' duels as of late. No score. So here are the standings. National League, Milwaukee, 11.5 behind Brooklyn. The Dodgers' magic number on this 29th of August is 20. And everyone else will fall out of contention momentarily. In the American League, even Kansas City, who is still waiting for Lenny Dawson, has a mathematical chance. Detroit by 1 over the Yankees, 2 over Cleveland, 3 over Chicago. That's tomorrow's doubleheader. 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, and 6:30, right? Or 5:30 Central European time. So if you're interested in the Triple Crown race, Mantle needs to pass Keene and Neiman. But he'll win the home run title and 9 up on Kaline in RBI. And if you're looking at strikeouts, Herb Score has a 69 strikeout lead over Billy Pierce. So Williams walked his first time up. 12:30 in Nova Scotia. There you go. Triple G. How we doing? Pitch to Williams. Ted rips this one into right center. Kaline will grab it. And Williams has a single and a fishing rod in his hand. Dick Gernert 0 for 1. Just the second hit for Boston in the ball game. Fly ball left center. Maxwell will make the catch. Now we turned up the speed a little bit. And today we are clicking. Here's Jackie Jensen. Jackie's 0 for 1. Beautiful day to play golf. Are you playing today? No, those are real time zones, Todd. So a half hour earlier because of the doubleheader Tuesday, and then Monday we'll have, a week from the day, another doubleheader because it'll be Labor Day. Aaron, what time is it there? It's 12:25 here. So is it 6? Are you 6 hours ahead of us or 7? Triple G's golf clubs may not agree it's a beautiful day to play golf. They sat there and watched Scotty Scheffler yesterday. Pitch to Jensen. There's a fly ball to Maxwell. Back to the wall, and Charlie will make the catch. Williams and Jensen shake hands at first. 2 out. Here's Pearsall. Jimmy singled his first time up. Triple G driving to the course. Greg played for almost 50 years before not being able to do so. So the distance in time between Scotty Scheffler's first major, which was the Masters that he won, and his fourth yesterday at Royal Portrush, was the same amount of days on the calendar as Tiger Woods' first 4. The 97 Masters to whatever he claimed to be his 4th major. The same amount of days. That's amazing. Pitch to Pearsall. Struck him out. That's 3 for Heft, and we're through 4. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 5th in a scoreless tie. Barbara's gardening. Hopefully it's a good day for that. It's supposed to be in the high 30s out where Paul King is today. No wonder why he's playing some CFL. Andy and I had a comfortable night of sleep, several hours apart. I should just add that there just in case. Bill Tuttle walked his first time up. Hard ground ball to the mound. First base side. Brewer over to first, and Tuttle is retired 1 away. For Frank Bowling, looking at his brother at short. Frank is 0 for 1. 70 degrees? Yeah. Just dropped. I think we lost Aaron. Yep, great weather. It was a pleasant walk this morning. In fact, it was just chilly enough, Barb, that when I got to the coffee shop, I got myself a cup of tea this morning as opposed to a cold brew coffee. Tomorrow we'll feature, of course, the White Sox and the Indians. I'm sure we will have another White Sox-Yankee game before we're done. And I am desperate to have Minnie Minoso or Mickey Mantle hit one to each other. So Mickey can hit to Minnie or Minnie can hit to Mickey. That is into right center field. That will drop. Pearsall will throw it back in. And so brother does not ground out to brother. 1 out for House. Frank's father is Maxwell, right? Was 0 for 1. 55 this morning in Pennsylvania. Nice. Really? They went their the same amount of time between their 3rd and their 4th. Now, Scotty won the PGA this year, too, right? He just now needs the U.S. Open. And trust me, it won't be 11 years before he wins the career career Grand Slam. So what did Tiger do? Was that the year he won the Slam? Sean got his walk-in for the day. It's golf weather up here in Sarnia, Ontario. That is crazy. Scotty has that mentality, too. Not much bothers him. Pitch to House. Hard ground ball to third. Klaus. Lepsio for 1. Gernert for 2. We'll finish that thought. You're going to watch a commercial. Halfway home, Tigers and Red Sox scoreless in Boston. Let me try again. There is a lot of Nicholas, I think, in Scotty's game. Scotty is just a mammoth man, physically. And it just seems to come so effortlessly. There's really nothing to report. Both teams have 2 hits. Both teams don't have a run, and both teams made an error. Heft a 2-hitter through 4, a walk and 3 strikeouts. Brewer a 2-hitter through 5, a walk and no strikeouts. I'm not sure because I'm not old enough to remember Jack as an amateur and all of that, but I know that they waited for Tiger Woods' arrival on the Pro Tour was one of the most anticipated events of the 1996 season. And I don't remember, and that maybe because I don't watch as much today, that there was that air about Scheffler when he turned pro. Clearly, he knows how to play the game. Lepsio is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Left field, Maxwell. 1 out for Sammy White, who's 0 for 1. When you watch Old Wonderful World of Golf shows, you can find all those on YouTube, Greg. Jack was hitting the ball over 300 yards with old clubs, which means steel-shafted irons. That must have hurt. And persimmon wood drivers. Now, they were steel shafted. They weren't wooden shafts, right? Bobby Jones said about Mr. Nicholas back in the mid-'60s, he plays a game of which I'm not familiar. And the thing was, along with Jack, is that Scotty's head is firmly stapled on his shoulders. And I'm not sure you can, as much as I like Rory McIlroy, Rory lets things eat at him. Pitch to White. Line drive to Keane. Harvey makes the catch, 2 out for Brewer, who's 0 for 1. And Tiger just lived under that hype. The only one I've ever seen to be even remotely successful with the amount of hype that they got as a younger player in any sport was Michael Jordan. And even Jordan cracked towards the end of his career to a degree. Happy Gilmore 2 due out on Friday on Netflix. No word on who will punch Gilmore out. Hoping it's Craig Stadler after downing a few. That would hurt. Craig was not necessarily a Richard Simmons body type when he played on tour. And I can't imagine that Mr. Michelin Man is any smaller and softer today. Pitch to Brewer. High ground ball to Keane. Harvey with a web gem from his knees throws him out. How do you do? We have played 5 at Fenway, no score. So Heft, Keane, and Torgerson to face Brewer here in the 6th. Billy 0 for 1. That's right back up the box. Brewer to first for the out. 1 away for Harvey Keane. Brewer, 18 batters, 61 pitches, 5 1/3. 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Brewer 119 for Boston in real life, looking for his 13th of the replay. 18 majors and 20 runner-ups for Jack. Yeah, it is astounding. He would have won 19 majors if it wasn't for Watson holding in off the 17th green at Pebble in the 82 Open, which was the first time I really got excited about golf. Bowling. Snap throw. Keene out on a bang banger. And there's 2 out for Torgerson, who is 0 for 2. So Brewer and Heft are matching bagels here at Fenway Park on a warm afternoon, 75, with the wind now blowing off. I don't think the Pike was open in 56, but that general direction. To third, Klaus over to Gernert, and Torgerson is retired, and that will do. Tigers go in order, no runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 6 here at Fenway, no score. Triple G's ignoring all this talk to psych him out before golf. Milt Bowling is 0 for 2. Billy Heft, 18 batters, 67 pitches, 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Walked him. So a full count walk brings up Billy Klaus. Williams on deck. Billy has not had a good day at the plate. He has grounded in to a double play and struck out. JT Dutch, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Pitch to Klaus. There is a chopper to Torgerson, who'll only have the 1 play at first, and Billy is out on the 4s. 1 out for Williams. Ted has walked and singled. Bowling in scoring position, having a little conversation with his brother. Line drive to Keene, and Bowling had to get back to the bag. So Williams hit that on a BB, but Harvey went hunting for it and made the catch. 2 out for Gernert, who's 0 for 2. Heft deals, popped up, left field, a rainmaker. Keene on the grass will make the catch, and we're through 6. It's a bunch of symmetry out there. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th, scoreless in Boston. No runs, 2 hits, an error for Detroit. Brad Church, too, my word! No runs, 2 hits, an error for Boston. The only difference in that line score is the Red Sox have left on 4. The Tigers have left on 2. Maxwell is 0 for 2. Charlie hits a hard ground ball to third. Klaus, 1 out. Then I forgot who did this. It's part of Mark Shaw, who just turned 75, by the way. His collection of ballparks. This has obviously been colorized. I know that Brent DeHart has done some of these. It just looks great. Al Kaline is 0 for 2 with a K. Scotty, how are you? Kaline, fly ball to right. Back goes Jensen. Jackie to the wall and will make the catch. And there's 2 out for Ray Boone, who's 0 for 2. That's a base hit left center field. Williams cuts it off and throws it in, and there's 2 out. Only the 3rd hit for the Tigers for Bill Tuttle, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. Tigers, a game up on the Yankees, 2 up on Cleveland, 3 up on Chicago, 4.5 on Boston. In the National League, the Dodgers lead over Milwaukee is 11.5. Tuttle, base hit. Williams cuts it off. Boone on his way to third. The throw is cut off by Bowling, and there's runners on the corners and 2 out as Frank is at the plate. Bowling versus Bowling here. Frank 1 for 2. So the first run of the ball game is 90 feet away. Fly ball left field. Back goes Teddy. Ball game. Stretch time. No score. It'll be Jensen, Pearsall, and Lepsio to face Heft here in the 7th. Jackie 0 for 2. Heft 82 pitches through 6. Brewer 89 through 7. Walked him. The Yankees are rooting for the Red Sox, obviously, being as everyone's chasing Detroit, which on this 29th day of August is the metaphysical equivalent of dogs and cats living together in harmony. Jimmy Pearsall 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. Yeah, Sean, you're right on the Michigan border, aren't you? Pearsall into center. Tuttle will come in and make the catch, and Jackie retreats back to first. 1 out for Lepsio. Ted is 0 for 2 with a K. Heft deals. That is a line drive to Boone. And there's 2 out for Sammy White. Sammy is 0 for 2. Right across from Port Huron. That's Edmund Fitzgerald country, isn't it? One of my favorite little commercials from SCTV was one they did of Gordon Lightfoot singing every song known to man on an untold number of records, cassettes, and 8-tracks, because that's how old we all are. It is on YouTube, and you should find it. Pitch to White. Sammy swings, base hit into center field. Tuttle picks it up. Jensen on his way to third. And Jackie is in there without a throw. So runners on the corners for Brewer, who's going to have to hit. Yeah, well, Tom actually's not a bad hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. In real life, he hit .298. So 2 out, bottom of the 7th, runners on the corners. House and half a word. Billy from the stretch struck him out. We are through 7. No runs, a hit, no errors. Tigers 0, Red Sox 0. See the boats empty out into Lake Huron as far as Edmund Fitzgerald. I do want to get to the Maritime Sailor Cathedral one day. It's in Detroit. Okay. A lot of traffic goes through that area. Frank House, 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. So Brewer starts the 8th. We've had 7 combined hits here. 2 errors and no runs. It's Bagel City. House to first. Gernert, 1 out. From to Billy Heft, who's 0 for 2. He should be staying in the game. Pitch counts for both pitchers are low. He does to Bowling at short. Over to Gernert, and Heft ran, but he's out on a bang-banger, 2 away. It is a heartbreaking song. I've watched a couple documentaries on it. The whole story of the Edmund Fitzgerald is completely heartbreaking. We've gotten so good with technology, and they had it pretty good for the day, and stuff like that can still happen. Harvey Keene is 1 for 3. Tom Brewer, 27 batters, 93 pitches, 7 2/3, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. So you were in high school when that happened, huh? I was still filling diapers. Pitch to Keene. High ground ball to Gernert. Flips it to Brewer, and that will do. So, in my best AI voice, after 7.5, no runs, no hits, no errors, Detroit, 0. Red Sox, 0. Did they run ferries back and forth, or because of Road technology, is that something, Sean, that doesn't happen? Greg will be WNBC in 3 weeks, or WFAN in 3 weeks. Built Bowling is 0 for 2 in the walk. Walked him. So the go-ahead run is on here in the 8th. Billy Klaus 0 for 3, grounded into a double play and struck out. Red Sox are, by the way, if they somehow win the American League, looking for a place to host goats. Left center Maxwell will make the catch, and Bowling goes back to first. One out for Williams. Ted is walked and singled. He's 1 for 2. You know what? I have my glasses on, and I knew exactly what you meant. Sean's bucket list would be to ride on a Laker. What that has to do with LeBron James, I don't know, but that's his bucket list. I know. Pitch to Williams. Back up the box. Base hit. Bowling will hold at second. So first and second, one out. And now we're all got symmetry again. No runs for both teams. 4 hits and an error. Here's Gernert. Dick is 0 for 3. Bowling on second. Ted Williams on first. One out. For the Tigers, Torgerson, Maxwell, and Kaline in the 9th. To Keene, Bowling for 1. Gernert's going to reach. The throw is late. So 6-4 on the fielder's choice. So Bowling will watch his brother 90 feet away from the game's first run. Here's Jensen. Jackie is 0 for 2 with a walk. That is to Bowling. We'll throw to Torgerson, and we're scoreless going in the 9th inning. How about that? No runs, a hit, no errors. The Red Sox, in Red Sox fashion, have left on 8, while the Tigers have left on 4. We go to the 9th. It's Bengal City here in Boston. Yeah, he only hit 345 in real life and 400 at-bats. In 57, he's what, 39 and hit 388? Reminds me of a story, whether or not it's true or not. They would ask, you just pick your 60 star. And, so tell me, Jim Brown, could you compete with Eric Dickerson and all that? And, you know how it goes. Oh, yeah, it'd take me a while, but I could do that. Then again, I am, 50 years old. Torgerson is 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play. Brewer can easily finish the 9th. Right back to Tom, one out. All the ferries, about the one that went across down the river is no longer. I don't imagine so, but there are cruise boats. Oh, okay. Both the Canadian side and the American side of the Great Lakes on our river. And out in the lake. That's nice. Yeah. I'm sure that feeds you well, too. He got on base on-base percentage of .525. So, well, how'd you do against Magic Johnson? Oh, I could still put in on 20 or 30. It'd take a bit. I am in my 50s. Charlie Maxwell is 0 for 3. It'll be Kaline on deck. There is a ground ball to Lepsio over to Gernert. 2 out. For the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Pearsall, Lepsio, and White. Kaline 0 for 3 with a K. And he walks. So a 2-out walk for Ray Boone. Ray 1 for 3. He has singled. White and Brewer have a word. Tom nods, deals into center field. Back goes Pearsall, but Jimmy will make the catch. And so imagine being Tom Brewer. You've just thrown 9 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball, and you're looking out on that board in left field, and there is no score. So Pearsall, Lepsio, and White to face Heft. Jimmy 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Heft deals. That's a hard ground ball to third. Boone over at Torgerson. 1 out. Lepsio will stay in the game. 0 for 3 with a K today. Greg says, Bill Russell said when they were announcing the 50 greatest players, how would Wilt do today? Yeah, he replied 30 per. Yeah. Absolutely. Base hit left center field. Maxwell throws it back in, and the winning run is on for Sammy White, who will hit. Sammy 1 for 3. They said, really, as far as Wilt Chamberlain, and Russ replied, yeah, he is almost 60. Every time you hear one of those, it's great. Outfield playing back, infield playing normal. White just don't grind into a double play. Brewer on deck. Whether he would pitch the 10th depends on what Mr. White does right here. I remember the talks of Chamberlain coming back in the 80s. And I don't think it would have been a curiosity factor either. I think he really could have played. He obviously wasn't going to do 48 minutes. There's a fly ball left field. Back goes Maxwell. Good night. Drive home safely. It's game over. Sammy White walks it off with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. And the Red Sox win this one 2-0. To finish up the thought on Chamberlain, he almost fought Muhammad Ali. Had to stop him. So 2 hours and 13 minutes. All fake, of course. And don't forget tomorrow, depending on what fake time zone you live in, it's a doubleheader. So Red Sox win on the Sammy White home run. So Sammy White will be our Digital Dice MVP. 2 runs, 6 hits, an error for Boston. They left on 8. Not Tom Brewer, it's Sammy White. Tom Brewer did get the win. Red Sox are 67 and 58. Ollie backed out. Yep. And Brewer deserved the win, and so did Heft, who falls to 12 and 8. Tigers 71 and 55. No runs, 4 hits, and an error. Where is that poll question? Red Sox did it, 77%. Brewer 13 and 10, 4-hitter, 9 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Heft hit plus stuff, 8 1/3. 6 hits, the only runs coming on the White homer with 1 out in the 9th. He walked 4 and struck out 4. So at the moment, the Yankees are a half game back, and the Red Sox are 3.5 back. We be jamming, and we'll be jamming too, the rest of this Wednesday in baseball. Baltimore beats Cleveland 2-1. Ferrazzi 7-3. Early win. Wasn't early. 17 and 11. Sam Mealy 2 for 3 with a double. White Sox beat Washington 9-5. Dick Williams, by the way, a 15-game hitting streak for Baltimore. White Sox beat Washington 9-5. Howell 4-4. Stewart 2-8. Pete Reynolds 3 for 5 with a triple. Dodgers beat the Cubs 6-1. Carl Erskine 17 and 3. Kaiser falls to 5 and 12. Pee Wee Reese 4 for 5 with a steal. White Sox, by the way, in that win, pound out 16 hits. Giants beat the Redlegs 8-3. Antonelli 15 and 9. Klipstein falls to 9 and 15. Shane Dean's 3 for 5 and 2 doubles. The Yankees looked like world beaters one day, And now have lost 2 straight to the 46 and 79 Kansas City Athletics. KC beats the Yankees 7-3. Crimean 4-5. Cooks falls to 15-9. Simpson 3 for 5. Hits his 13th and drives in 4. Lou Burdette throws a one-hitter, but Milwaukee can gain no ground. They win 5-0. He goes to 13-11. Strikes out 2. Law falls to 5-14, and the Dodgers maintain an 11.5 game lead with 2 days to go in the month. Philadelphia doubles up St. Louis. Phillies more than double. Pound out 18 hits, win 13-6. Robin Roberts 9-17. Blaylock falls to 2-2. Willie Jones 3 for 5, hits his 14th and hits a double. So it'll be Cleveland and Chicago when we're with you tomorrow from Comiskey Park. Game 1, Herb Score, Billy Pierce. Game 2, Early Wynn and Dick Donovan are the scheduled pitchers. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for what should be an absolutely huge doubleheader. Have a great day, everybody. So long.